Hello, everyone. This is Dino Chris from Prehistoric Facts, and this is special episode number 193, and we're going to be talking about a plant-eating dinosaur, and that dinosaur is Plateosaurus. And so here's an artist rendition of what Plateosaurus possibly look like. This is almost like a computer model type of image. Looks actually pretty cool. Some information about Plateosaurus. The name in Greek or Latin means either flat lizard or broad lizard. It all depends on the translation. There has been some conflicting uh, evidence suggested that maybe the flat lizard is probably a mispronunciation and broad lizard is actually the correct pronunciation. But uh, right now, from what I've been seeing, is that flat lizard has been the type of name, the translated name. Length is 16 to 33 feet, or 4.9 to 10 meters. Height is 6 feet, or 1.8 meters. Weight is 1,300 to 8,800 pounds, or otherwise, if you want to, if that translates to is 1,300 to 8,800 pounds. And it lived at 214 to 204 million years ago in the late Triassic period. And fossils are found in Europe, and it was given the actual species name by Froese in 1913. But the name Plateosaurus was more likely been in the earliest recording is by von Meyer in 1837. And this is way before Sir Richard Owen came up with the name Dinosauria. And so, yeah, let's actually continue on. So, where the fossils are found in Europe, they're actually found in this yellow country right here, in the middle in Central Europe, Germany. Some fossils have been found in Switzerland, this little tiny little green country right down here. And of course, some fossils have been found in the most eastern parts of France. And so, yeah, those are where the fossils are found of Plateosaurus. And some of the smaller Plateosauruses are kind of like this size. There are some that are a little bit larger than this. So this is kind of like some of the smaller species of Plateosaurus, and so it's a little bit larger than a medium-sized dog, or is a little bit larger than like your basic dog, like say a golden retriever or something like that. And down here you can actually see the skeletal designs right here by Scott Hartman, who actually does these fantastic artwork of the skeletons. The top one right here is the holotype specimen, which was nearly complete. The tip of the tail was the only bones that were missing. And so, yeah, and then you got a complete skeleton. And there are some Plateosaurus specimens that are mostly complete, but some of them are not. And in this case, in paleontology, complete skeletons are very, very rare. More information about Plateosaurus. It belongs into the Sauropodomorpha family group, so that includes sauropods and the early, like what we used to call prosauropods. But it is part of the Plateosauridae family group, so it's got its own family group. And the characteristics are it's got a long neck, a large claw on the thumb. So this animal has kind of got short arms compared to its hind legs. But when you actually look at the hands of Plateosaurus, you would actually see kind of stubby claws on, like, say, the index all the way to the pinkies. But on the thumbs, they actually do have a very large claw, and that claw can be used for defense. And of course, it's also got a tail for self-defense as well. But mostly, it's going to be the size that is going to be the first main weapon of Plateosaurus. Plateosaurus has got leaf-shaped teeth. So when you look at its teeth, they kind of have like somewhat of these serrations on their teeth, so that way they can actually rip apart vegetation, mostly like leaves and some ferns and leaves from trees. Like I said, and this means that it's a herbivore. The environment and where Plateosaurus lived in would have been warm and somewhat dry. There were wet and dry seasons. the kind of plants that were around, there would have been trees, ferns, and cycads. There was no grass and flowers during this kind of time. The flowers did not exist in the Triassic period. It was just basically a lot of trees, ferns, and cycads. There would have been plenty of rivers, lakes, and ponds that were around, and other types of animals were around, like insects, some amphibians, reptiles, early mammals. Early mammals were beginning to show up at that point in time. But the mammal-like reptiles were still around at that point in time. Very small, but they were still around. Some small pterosaurs were around there too. There were no birds in the Triassic. Birds didn't start to be what we know as birds didn't start happening, didn't start to evolve around the Jurassic period. Mainly in the Jurassic period is where we start to see the first birds, and of course some dinosaurs. Now remember, dinosaurs were rare in the Triassic period. They were not very common, and they were not really the top dogs in the Triassic. Those belonged to the Archosaurs. And the predators for Plateosaurus, I mean, of course, there would have been archosaurs, large archosaurs, predatory archosaurs that could have eaten the young ones. But the top predator, where Plateosaurus would have been around, would have been Liliensternus, a type of theropod dinosaur that was kind of related to Monolophosaurus and Coelophysis, and even somewhat like Dilophosaurus, but it's mainly closely related to like Coelophysis and Monolophosaurus. And so, yeah, that's the only predator that Plateosaurus would have feared. The extinction of Plateosaurus, and this would have been the end Triassic extinction. So what was happening here is that Pangea was beginning to break up, and you actually start to see the birth of the Atlantic Ocean. And so there would have been a lot of volcanic eruptions, and so Laurasia was splitting apart from Gondwanaland, and so you got your northern supercontinent, and then you got your uh, southern supercontinent. And so North America and Eurasia were breaking apart from Gondwanaland. And then these volcanic eruptions would have caused global warming. So it would have been a bunch of CO2 that would have been emitted into the atmosphere, and so it would cause a lot of global warming. Large archosaurs were the ones that went extinct in the end Triassic period, but the dinosaurs did survive, even like some of the early mammals, other types of reptiles, even the pterosaurs survived, insects survived, of course. And so the dinosaurs survived, and this is where in the Jurassic period, dinosaurs really took over as the top dogs in the in the and throughout the Mesozoic era. And so here is a map of what the late Jurassic period, around 210 million years ago, would have looked like. And so you can kind of see a little bit of like cracks that are starting to happen here in between North America, Africa, and South America here. And so this is would have been where the Atlantic Ocean would have been in its beginnings. And so yeah, you get to see where the what is known as camp start to happen right here, in between right here. So where the United States is, or where North America is, and Africa and South America were beginning to break apart. So the next episodes, and so that would be August 18th and the 20th of 2022. There'll be 2 extra episodes. The first one on August 18th would be the Rise and Reign of the Mammals review. This is a book review this is a book that I got in June, and so I've been reading it, and so far it's been pretty good. So I'll give you my full-fledged review on the 18th. And of course, the other extra episode would be a Tyrannosaurus rebuttal paper review as well. And so the Rise and Reign of Mammals review, that one would probably be pretty close to 10 minutes long. The Tyrannosaurus rebuttal paper review, that one would probably be shorter. I'm probably going to guess is that video is probably going to be at least just over 7 minutes long. And so, yeah, that video will be very, very short. Whereas the Rise and Reign of Mammals review will be a little bit longer. And so, yeah, stay tuned for those episodes. And if you got any questions about dinosaurs or another prehistoric life, you can email me at dinochrist71@gmail.com, or just go to my Facebook page, Prehistoric Facts with Dino Chris. Like the page, yes, you post your questions in the comment section. Please put them in the comment sections. I'll put them in Messenger, messages for private conversations. So please put them in the comment section. And also for YouTubers out there, like the video, subscribe to the channel. And according to my analytics, a lot of you guys that are checking out my channel are not subscribed yet. So please subscribe to the channel, and also hit that like button because it helps out the algorithm a lot. And also share the video, share the channel to anybody that is interested in dinosaurs and other prehistoric life and paleontology in general. And also stop that notification bell so that way you can get weekly notifications of every single video that comes out weekly. And and next week there will be 2 extra episodes, so you get 2 episodes in 1 week. So that'll be pretty cool for you guys. And also, you YouTubers out there, feel free to leave your questions in the comment section because I do read them all. Your questions do mean a lot on the Q&A episodes, and you guys are awesome for giving me some great questions. And make sure you keep your questions short and to the point. You can also follow me on Instagram at dino.crest.pf. I post pretty cool stuff on there. You can also follow me on Twitter at CSGRALL. It's for Twitter page. I post pretty cool stuff on there as well. Also, take care of people around you. And also, for younger people out there, make sure you listen to parents, or teachers, and the guardians. So that's the best motivation you can have for a good education. It's very important to have a good education. With a good education, and get a good job in the future. And also for you, so to the college kids that are heading back to college, and also for you kids that are going back to elementary school, and even like middle school, junior high. Make sure you guys have a very good school year that is coming up, and listen to your teachers and respect them because they're going to be very, very important to how your education is going to go. And also do your homework, and also be safe. That's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time.